In this lesson, we're looking at the wider Second Punic War. So, Second Punic War, other theatres, other theatres of war, other places within the world, within the ancient world, where this war was taking place. It wasn't just Hannibal rampaging around Italy. There were lots of other theatres of war, lots of other places in the ancient world where this war was taking place between other Carthaginian armies and other Roman armies and their allies. So we'll learn about the war outside Italy, 218-203 BC, to understand the decisions that were made and to develop strategic thinking skills. Lots of keywords. Iberia means Spain. That's a city. You know about these family, the warship, famous engineer and mathematician, intellectual philosopher, Archimedes. Macedonia, place in Greece, Philip V, and of course the Po Valley. So you have this map, and we'll number this map as we go along. But here's Italy, here's Rome, there's Cannae, Hannibal's around here. But there was fighting in all of these areas around the whole western and central Mediterranean. There were quite a lot of naval warfare. Various Carthaginian fleets were sent out to harass various places, harass the Italian coast. They fought battles with Roman ships, Carthaginian ships landed in Sicily, Sardinia. There was quite a lot of intermittent naval warfare going on. It wasn't a huge amount. It wasn't nothing compared to the First Punic War, but there was naval warfare. In the Po Valley, we've already seen Hannibal arrived there, and we've already seen that Hannibal recruited many Celtic Gallic warriors in his army. There was still plenty left behind, and throughout the whole period, the Celts, the Gauls of the Po Valley were constantly at war with the Roman legions in north of Italy, and in fact inflicted several massive defeats on the Romans, wiped out a couple of legions, wiped out a consular army at one point. So as the Romans, as well as fighting Hannibal, they have to have men in the north of Italy to fight the Celts. Liguria. Liguria is here. This bit. Coastal bit around here. And that was in revolt as well. In 207 BC, Hannibal's brother Mago was sent from Spain to Liguria with his force and recruited Ligurians and formed another new army that rampaged around northern Italy, fighting the Romans. Sicily is quite a lot of fighting on the island of Sicily, all based around Syracuse, the main city there, which after the death of its tyrant leader Hero, swapped sides and ended up joining the Carthaginians. And there was a lot of infighting. It was quite complicated, but essentially Syracuse ended up fighting the Romans. A Roman army was sent to Sicily to sort this out under a generalship of a guy called Marcellus, and they attacked Syracuse in 214 BC. And famously, we'll do a whole lesson, I think this is so interesting. This is when Archimedes' claw comes in. Archimedes was a great engineer, mathematician who lived in the city, and he designed war machines for the defense of his city against the Romans, including the famous Archimedes' claw. So a crane contraption that could pick up a warship and then just drop it and smash it. So the Romans were not able at first to conquer Syracuse and Sicily, but eventually by 212 they captured Syracuse. And then a famous story I'll relate to you later, Archimedes was murdered by a Roman soldier going crazy in the city. Oh, and by the way, also in Sicily, this is where Carthage sent a great many reinforcements. Large Carthaginian armies were sent to Sicily during the Second Punic War to help Syracuse. So if you're wondering how come Syracuse didn't send, so if you're wondering how come Carthage didn't send large forces to help Hannibal, well, they were sending forces elsewhere. They sent about 30,000 man army to Sicily, which didn't work out for them. Spain. One of the main theatres of war outside Italy was Spain. It was very important for the Romans to keep Roman forces active in Spain. If you look at the map, one of the things the Romans feared were more reinforcements from Spain heading this way and meeting up with Hannibal. They figured the best way to stop this happening was to fight Carthaginian Barcid forces in Spain. So they constantly kept pressure up in Spain to stop reinforcements reaching Hannibal. They fought a long campaign, lots of twos and fros. In 211 BC, there was a big disaster for the Romans. Their army was wiped out. So Scipio the Elder and his brother, so Scipio Africanus' uncle and father, were killed in this battle. The Roman army was virtually wiped out. Famously, they recruited 20,000 local Spanish Celts mercenaries to fight for them, and for the battle they swapped sides, and everything just went very badly wrong. Then there was a disaster. Following that, Scipio the Younger, Scipio Africanus, as it later was called, took command in Spain. And they had quite a brilliant campaign, since he learned a lot from Hannibal, had a professional Roman army, had several spectacular victories. In 209 BC, he captured New Carthage in a very famous assault. He led a surprise attack on this city. He had an open attack on the main gate, which was unsuccessful, but that was really a distraction. Other soldiers were led through a shallow lake. When the tide was low, the lake was shallow. They waded through and captured the city by attacking an undefended quarter. After that, the war continued in Spain, and by 206 BC, Scipio had managed to pretty much clear the Carthaginians, the Barcids, from all of Spain. Though in the last battle, Hasdrubal Barca, although he lost the battle, managed to get away with his army pretty much intact, and did in fact cross into Spain, into Italy, to try and reinforce Hannibal, but we'll tell that story later on. Finally, Macedonia. Look on your map, it's over here, where Alexander the Great was from. Hannibal made a treaty with Philip V of Macedon to try and receive their help. So the Macedonians attacked the Romans in that part of the world. Again, it made the Romans send more legions that way, legions that could have been facing Hannibal, where in fact had to be sent, a few of them had to be sent to what they call Greece, to Macedon, to fight Philip V. So this is a virtual ancient First World War, or Second World War. If the Punic War, the First Punic War is the First World War, the Second Punic War is in many ways, to a lot of historians, the first version of a Second World War. It took place all over the ancient Western and Central Mediterranean.